Everybody, today is Tuesday, June 11th. It's about 7 a.m. and we're on our way to Starbucks. We're gonna get $7.48 for 4.4 miles. Let's go get that coffee. It's another super slow day. I put the app on at about 5:45 a.m. and I got, I think, 2 offers between 5:45 a.m. and 7 a.m. So what does that come out to? An hour and 15 minutes passed, and I got 2 terrible offers, and then I finally got this one just right now. So it looks like it's going to be a really slow day. The only thing that's really different for me right now is that the Doordash app, I didn't have a shift scheduled until 9:30. Oh, just right now I just got into Doordash, but only for a short time. It's just for an hour. Let me pause it, since I'm on UberEats at the moment. So now we're back into both. So I really only had UberEats, and then I threw on the Walmart Sparks just for laughs. But only one offer came in there, and I think it was $16 for 27 miles or something like that. And it vanished like in 2 seconds. It was gone. It was one of those ones first come first serve, and I sure as heck wasn't gonna take it anyway, so it didn't matter to me. So yeah, we just got this one, and hopefully it picks up, but if it doesn't, that's okay too. We'll just lounge at home and just keep waiting until the window closes, because that's just how we roll. Comment from a viewer of my videos. It was from the video called $30 hourly rate tracking my DoorDash active time, and the comment came from Patricia Rodriguez-BW7YL, and she says, how do you do it to be so relaxed between deliveries, LOL? I feel I'm rushed and driving like a maniac. So I don't know. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know, what is it now? 3 years, 4 years? I don't know. I've been doing it a long time. So you get used to the routine. I know in the beginning I was nervous doing it. There was a lot of anxiety, about understanding the app and getting familiar with getting through the gates and gate codes and navigating through apartments. There's just all kinds of stuff you have to learn. But it's been so much time has passed now that I've done it, that everything is pretty routine, and any obstacles that I encounter, I've experienced them in the past, so there's not a lot of anxiety. It's usually only when there's an unknown new thing that occurs. Like, I was nervous when I was doing Walmart Spark, because it was a whole new app and a whole new set of processes that I didn't know what I would encounter using that app. But as far as delivering for Walmart, I had done that many times before, so that was not a big deal. All right, we're almost here at Starbucks. Alright, got our order, as you can see. Alright, well, everything worked out fine in there. There was no major issues that occurred inside. It was busy, and as usual, they do their best in that Starbucks to not pay any attention to you when you're standing at the counter. They make every effort to not make any eye contact or to speak to you in any way whatsoever. But you just stand there, stand your ground until somebody finally seems to pay attention beyond the boundaries of the employee's space. And as soon as they do that, I jumped. I pounced on it. The guy announced somebody's drink order, and I said, "Oh no, I'm here for so." He's like, "Drink for James?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm UberEats. I'm here for..." It's like I knew he wasn't talking to me, but the moment you make an announcement, now you're talking from the other side of the counter. And you don't really want to interrupt them when they're talking to each other, because it's like, well, that's their workspace. They're communicating to each other, and they're not making eye contact, so they're doing something. And then they're also, a lot of them are wearing headsets, so you don't know if they're talking to a customer on the drive-thru. So you gotta wait for that perfect moment. Especially at all the other Starbucks, this doesn't happen. I don't know what it is about this Starbucks and their training to communicate to delivery drivers when they arrive. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I mean, they can obviously tell we're delivery drivers. We're standing at the counter, we're staring at our phones, and we're constantly trying to get somebody's attention. So I don't know what's up with that. Oh, I didn't tell you where we're going. We're headed off to a house. We have a gate code, and it's a leave at the door. So let's get going. And it is 3.1 miles away, 9 minutes. Let's go. It looks like this house is inside of the McDonald Ranch guard-gated community. I better get my ID out. That way I'm ready to go. There's nothing worse than pulling up to that guard gate and not being ready to hand them your ID in order to get through that darn gate. So, and then sometimes, I don't know what it is, but sometimes the person doesn't order the coffee through UberEats. They order it through Postmates. And it's the app on my end, my app doesn't tell me if they ordered it through Postmates. So whenever I get to this particular community, I've had an incident in the past. So I always tell the guard that I'm here with UberEats or Postmates, so that way they know it could be one or the other, and that removes that anxiety about that potential conflict. Because I had a problem in the past where the person was like, "This is not UberEats. They said it's Postmates," and I'm like, I didn't get mad at them at that moment. I waited till I got through, and then I vented. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know it's Postmates? My app doesn't tell me that. So now, every time I come here, I always remember if it's an UberEats, I always remember to say that it's a Postmates or a UberEats. Now, if it's a Doordash, I always just say Doordash, because Doordash doesn't own any other companies. UberEats is the only one that has gobbled up another big name company that still exists. I mean, I guess people still use the Postmates app, but they have no idea it's actually owned by UberEats. All right, we're pulling into McDonald Ranch, everybody. All right, we're through the guard gate, and now we're on our way. Looks like we got to go 1.4 miles. We still have to travel through the $1 million grounds that is McDonald Ranch. So you get to enjoy the view. Let me try to get you the right road view. I'll try to keep it on for the whole ride, since everything here is always pretty spectacular up in McDonald Ranch. So you really you can't go wrong. There's always something beautiful to see up here. You get to hear me clear my throat through most of it, I'm going to be sure, because of I'm not over my cold. I mean, I don't really feel like I'm sick, but I still got those residual symptoms. So I've got to just keep on keeping on, keep on plugging away as best I can. It's too bad the sun is pointed in this direction, because you guys aren't seeing the houses in all their glory. These houses are so humongous. When I first moved here, these houses were worth about anywhere from 1 million to 5 million, and now they've all doubled. Now you can't get anything for less, I think, than 2 million, I think, and then they're all the way up, I think, to 15 million, which is crazy. But since I'm from California, these prices are not that shocking. It is very common. I mean, it is super common. You'll get the junkiest looking house for $2 million in LA, because it's so expensive there. So A lot of people, what they do is when they're getting ready to retire in California, they'll sell their $2 to $5 million crap hole in California, and they'll move up here in retirement to enjoy the luxury that they can now suddenly, get from being basically being filthy rich from selling their junky house in California. So that's a lot of the things that people do to get to these houses that they come from wealthier places. Let's see, am I gonna have another gate to go through? Oh good, it's open. Thank goodness. Turn right to stay on Sleeping Dragon They gave me the gate code for this particular gate, but I hate having to deal with it because sometimes it doesn't work out so well. Well, you can see that all it is here, they keep the houses really far spread apart. When you get to these really fancy homes, each one of them seems like it has its own world unto itself. And you got all this beautiful, open space and trees and rocks, and I'm sure you feel like you're just living in a fantasy land when you live up top over here. It's like all your everything that we common folk deal with, they don't deal with. They deal with counting their money. Turn right on Dragon Peak Court. All right, we're almost there. We just got 0.4 miles to go. And so far, most of this drive, we've just been facing the sun. And you see, you haven't really seen many houses yet that are we're seeing at the moment. Let's see, we're still climbing. You can see them in the distance. See how they all look like they're from the Brady Bunch? They all have that real modern look to them. That's the thing that people like nowadays. They like this this style. Did I turn here? No, the next one.
Turn left on Falcon Cliff Court.
See how they like this real modern stuff? To me, they almost look like a mausoleum. They don't even look like a house. Looks like a place where you go to get buried. Oh, there's another one. See them? See how weird they look? They look like what was that movie? Oblivion. Remember Oblivion with Tom Cruise? And they look like that. They look like very sci-fi. That's what they look like. They look like they're out of that movie, Oblivion, with Tom Cruise. Look it up. You'll see it. It looks like everything's made by Apple. Apple Computer designed the houses. All right, it's coming up on the left. Let's see. It's probably the next one. Well, there's not much more to go. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going to go here to the cul-de-sac and turn around because it's a narrow street. See, look, they got nothing. I bet you the coyotes really come up over here. They must, because this is about as far as you get before civilization ends. All right, I'm coming. Hang on. What a weird house. All right, let's go. We're all dropped off, and now we're headed back down the hill. Maybe this view will be better. I'm putting my seatbelt on. Yeah, that house was weird. It had a door with a lock and a doorbell that led to the courtyard, but it was very apparent that was not the door that led into the house. It just led into a courtyard, but it was a door designed to look like a front door. So it was kind of strange. All right, now which way did I come from? I think in general, I think you're always supposed to go down the hill. So let's keep going down the hill, everybody. And they got their fancy golf courses here. Wait a minute, is this their mailboxes? Oh my God, they still have to go. They got all that money and they got to still walk to their mailbox. How sad is that? That's just like us regular folk. I would think the mailman would go right to their door, but I guess not. I think I turn here. I hope. If I get lost, I'll have to turn the navigation on. I think I turn here. This place is so weird. It reminds me of like the Hollywood Hills. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Hollywood Hills. It's where all the rich people live, and they have these kind of dangerous winding roads that you would think for rich people they'd want to have a nice safe road, but no. They live up in these hills and the roads twist and turn and there are no street lights and it's very dangerous to drive on them at night. I really don't understand what the appeal is in living in an area where you have wild animals, winding roads, and no street lights. I like to live real close to civilization myself. I like to live close to where I can go get my McDonald's, where I can go down to a convenience store and pick something up if I feel like having something to eat. You know what I mean? Or if I need to get gas for my car, I can just head right down the street to the gas station. What is the appeal? I know that the appeal obviously is you get to live in a fancy neighborhood, but that's about it. Once you get used to living in your house, a house is a house to me. I mean, especially after you've been in it. Let's say you've been in it for like a year. Once you've been in it for about a year, the thrill is gone. It's like now you got a house that is, you got to just keep fixing things, and you got to vacuum, and you just are like, is the cord for the vacuum going to reach across this room? I don't know. And if you have animals, you got to let them out into the backyard. Can you imagine walking across a 10,000 square foot house to let your dog out in the backyard so you can go to the bathroom every time? And then you got to walk all the way back across the room to get back to what you're doing, only to have your dog start barking, saying, "Let me back in. I'm done. I'm done going to the bathroom. Let me back in the house." I'm like, that doesn't sound convenient at all. But rich people, maybe that is beyond their thinking. There's probably those issues that us common folk have, they don't have. Or even their laundry room. What happens when you have you have to take your dirty clothes, you take your shower, you take your dirty, you gotta walk across your 10,000 square foot home to drop it off in the hamper in the laundry room. What about that? Maybe they don't deal with that either. Maybe they have help. They have staff that deal with everything. Maybe they have a live-in maid or people that come in during certain hours of the day, and they take care of the dog and they take care of the laundry. Maybe that's what it is. I've seen that on TV. Have you ever seen those shows, those old 1950s shows where people have help? They have a housekeeper. What was that one? It was called Family. Was it Family Affair or Family Circus or whatever? They had that Mr. Jeeves or whatever the hell his name was, Mr. Pip. I don't know. That real heavy set guy with the beard. Remember that show? And the kids were like redheaded with freckles. I don't remember what it's called. I think it was called Family Affair. All right, we're out of there. Took us a long time to get out of there. It reminded me of Meaty Mama's video last night that I was watching. I don't know if you UberEats $7.06, 10.7 miles. No, I don't know if you guys saw it, but she was walking through this apartment complex, and it went on forever. And she must have played 3 to 4 different songs of music while she was walking down those long apartment aisles inside of some huge apartment complex. It was very funny. And I was like, it made me just think of that, how long it took us to get to that house to drop off that order and to get out. And I think about putting music like that in my video, but I don't know. I get nervous about the copyright baloney. And I know that YouTube offers you this supposed copyright-free music that you can use in your videos, but I don't trust it. I always feel like at any moment they could suddenly message you and say, "Oh, that music is no longer, we don't own it anymore. So now either you have to pay for it or you have to remove it from your video." And it's like I'm not dealing with any potential things that could happen down the road, because who knows? You know, these videos, they live there forever. Once you post a video, it's always going to be there. And I don't know what the future is. All I know is that if I own my stuff, whatever I put on there, I own it. And I'm never going to have any problems. So I would like to do music like that, but I'm such a litigious person that I worry about things like that, about the long-term things that could happen. $4.08 Uber Eats for 5 miles. No. Yeah, I really don't like that idea. I mean, I like the idea of having that music because it was really funny, but I just don't like the idea of the long-term consequences. I see that sometimes in a lot of other people's videos where they'll play music that I know is copyrighted, and I'm like, aren't they worried about the long-term consequences of doing that? Because there's no way they own the rights to that music. And I know they're not in trouble now. No one has said anything as of yet. But to me, it's just a matter of time, you know, because these videos are going to be up there forever. So whether it's now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, eventually somebody's gonna make it known to YouTube, and then they're gonna make you take your video down, or it's gonna ruin the whole effect of your video, because there's gonna be these dead silent spots. I don't know. Maybe nobody really watches the old videos, so it doesn't even matter. People for these types of delivery videos, all they care about is the newest one to watch. Hey, it's about 7:50 a.m. and we got our second delivery of the day. So it is already getting so late. It's almost ridiculous how late it's getting. We're heading off to McDonald's. We're going to be getting $8.44 for 4.8 miles. Let's go pick up McDonald's. I've had Doordash on since 8 a.m. so almost an hour now, and the shift's going to end because I only have an hour shift locked in, and then it won't reactivate again until about 9:15 when I get my official shift. This was a Dash Now situation, and so I've had it on for almost an hour. I've gotten 0 offers coming in from Doordash. Not even a single horrific offer. Just nothing. Just dead silence on that app. So yeah, it looks like Doordash is going to be pretty dead today. But you know, you never know. Maybe it'll surprise me, and something will come in. But it doesn't look like it. Oh, look, something's coming in. I spoke too soon. $7.75 for 7.3 miles. We are currently on a Uber Eats delivery, and I wouldn't take that anyway. That's horrible. Decline. And there's only 8 minutes left in the shift. So first I'm going to see if I can extend it. Obviously I can't. It says no, you can't extend it. So I'm just going to end it because there's no way we're going to get anything between 7:53 a.m. and 8 a.m. That's only 7 minutes, and it's going to take us 7 minutes just to complete this delivery, and that would be if I was going like super fast, which of course you know I'm not. So I ended the Doordash, and now we're just on Uber Eats, and that's that. And maybe I'll keep watching it. What I do is I keep watching the Doordash app to see if a Dash Now comes up. But of course it has to be in my zone that I normally dash in. And so, but I'll just keep watching it. Maybe something will come up. And sometimes if it glows like the red color on the map and I'm not in the zone, I just tap on it and I say dash along the way. And usually I can get back into the zone before that ends. So I just got to keep watching it, I guess. And it's just for today. I don't know what happened. I spaced out the other day and I completely forgot to schedule a dash until it was way late in the day. And that's why I don't have my normal scheduled shift activated right now. So I just got to make do right now with Uber Eats only. That's just the way it is. It's just Uber Eats, and I'm not turning on Walmart Spark because I cannot read all the crap that Walmart Spark sends me when I'm driving. It's just not safe. So, and even when I was sitting at home, I didn't even want to turn it on because I knew all the offers were going to be terrible and it was going to drain my energy. Because it does take mental energy to go through and read these offers in Walmart Spark, because they're like a novel, the amount of information they give you. And you have to read it all to know what you're getting into. You cannot just read just the first screen that comes up and say, yes, I'll take this offer. So it's too time consuming to deal with. Even when I'm at home, I find it to be too time consuming and too mentally draining. So I'm like, no thanks. I know for a fact they're going to eventually kick me off of Walmart Spark, because if you don't use it, eventually they just realize, you know what, you're not using it, so goodbye, and they end your relationship with them, which is fine with me. They can go right ahead. I don't care. All right, we're almost at McDonald's. Let's load this in here. It's secured in case there's a drink in there. All right, let's go. All right, well, we got the order. It looks like we're going to go to an apartment, or is it a house? Oh, it's a house, and we have a gate code. It's a leave at the door. 5 minutes from here, 1.9 miles. Let's go. Finally finished the remodel for this McDonald's, and it looked pretty much the same. The only difference I noticed was that they now have a dedicated pickup spot for delivery drivers, which of course is excellent because it makes it much more efficient to pick stuff up than what it was before. So that was the only change I really noticed. Maybe they put in some new furniture in there. I don't know. Some kind of like black upholstered furniture. It didn't look very nice. Nothing looked like it was necessarily improvement, other than what I really cared about, which was speeding up the process to get my order and get the hell out of there. So that worked out good, and it was efficient. I just stood there and I could see the girl in there bagging up my stuff, and then she could see me, and she obviously knew who I was, so she just brought it right over, and I said the code number, and off I went. So it all worked out really good, and I was about to go through the drive-through, but there were about 4 cars in line, and I was like, I better not go through the drive-through because it's going to take a long time. I'm going to take a chance, and I parked, and I didn't know if the door was going to be unlocked or not, because they only recently finished the remodel, and so the dining room had been closed for the longest time. So when I went to grab the door, I was a little bit pessimistic. I'm like, oh, this door is going to be locked. But no, it wasn't. And I went right on in. All right, well, we're almost there. Based on how slow it is today, I'm guessing I'm going to make somewhere between $30 and $40 today. That's my guess. Let's see if I'm right. And, you know, it just because I didn't get anything when I first started, so that tells me it's not so busy today, which is fine. It's like whatever, but I still can't believe that people somehow are able to make a significant amount of money doing this job. That's sort of been my theme for this week, is like, how do you pay your rent doing this job? You can't make a living doing it. It's just a supplemental income job. That's the only thing I can think of that makes this job worthwhile. Is it's a nice way to have just some extra cash. That's it, supplemental. Oh, we're coming up on the gate. Let's see. Let me get the gate code out. Make sure I enter the right number.
Then turn left on Littlestone Street.
One moment, please. The gate is opening. We are going inside the community. I better turn the camera around. Alrighty, folks, you can see the community that we are in. And you can see it's a very normal community. You can see it's nothing too spectacular.
Drop off on the
It's
right.
what I would call an adequate community, the kind of place that you wouldn't mind living, but you wouldn't call it super fancy. All right, let's go dump this off. We are delivered. Very standard delivery. There's not much to say about it. It was a very traditional drop off with no surprises, and those are the kind of deliveries we like. $7.09 for 13.6 miles. Goodbye. Yep, that went just fine, and we had no problems. So we like days like this. Even if they're slow, I like it that there's just no complications. That way we can just keep moving. There's nothing worse than a slow day and it's filled with roadblocks. That is the worst day. It's one thing for it to be busy and there's roadblocks, but man, oh man, let me tell you, when it is super slow and you're just stuck at a gate, boy, that really gets on your nerves. So, but no, everything is just flowing along. So, I'm very happy that at least is the case for now. And then let me check on my Doordash. Let's see how that's going. No, everything's going fine. Let's see how my video from yesterday's doing. Let's see if people are watching it. Uh-oh, something's coming in. $6 for 8 miles. Walmart. No, thank you. Let's see. Should I take the freeway to go back home? No. $4.19 for 6.8 miles. No. I'll take the street going back home. I gotta be traditional because there might be an offer from Albertsons. I always get, that was a Walmart that just came in. It was garbage. Usually, if I stay on this road, there's a good chance I'll either get a Albertsons order to do shopping, or I'll get a McDonald's order. That usually happens when I do this. And if I get on the freeway, usually I don't get anything. I just shoot all the way back to the district, and then I usually get something over there. So I always got to maximize the miles. So I'm like, what is the same amount of miles, but it increases my chances for offers? So that's my strategy that I try to continue to use, even though it takes me longer to get home. $10.24 to shop at Sprouts, and you only got to drive 10.6 miles. No, thank you. Yeah, another lousy one. So, what was I saying? Oh, I was going to try to check to see if people are watching my last video called "They Reduced My Tip. Why Shopping is Risky." Let's see. So far, it's got 90 views, and it's been out for about 2 hours. So that's about normal for me. Since I used to get a lot more views, but now I'm not the hot new face on YouTube. So now people are just like going based on the quality of the videos that I put out and whether or not they connect with what I create. So I find myself very happy that I'm just doing whatever I'm doing, and the number of views I'm getting isn't as important to me as just the level of satisfaction I get when I watch my videos. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good video. Based on my opinion. I mean, based on my objective is for the video to be, I think they're good. I don't think they're fantastic. I think they're good because my objective for my videos when I make them is to make it so that people have an authentic experience of what it's like to deliver for these apps in my area, in my little neighborhood. And this is like for the average person. Like, I consider what I'm doing not to be anything spectacular. You know, I'm not trying to do any kind of high level techniques to ensure I make the highest amount of money. I'm not showing you any fancy strategies or tricks. I just try to show you what is possible for just anybody to do if they want to make some extra money doing this job. You know, I'm not talking about a ton of money. I'm talking about maybe you want like an extra $20 today. So that way, if you do the math, if you did it every day, $20 times 10 is $200. 200 times, you're making an extra $800 a month by just picking up some people's stuff and dropping it off. So it's a great supplemental income if you can be consistent and you have the time to do it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But all these people that say they're going to do it full time and they're going to make thousands of dollars every month, I don't know about all that. $5.02 for 4.3 miles. I know when I took this seriously before I made YouTube videos, I was consistently making $100 a day doing it. $7.02, 8.3 miles. But that doesn't mean I was doing just delivery. That means like in really slow periods, I would wake up like 3 a.m. and I would take people to the airport and I would look out for like special quest bonuses and all that stuff. So I was always like on the hunt to make sure I hit my goal. And sometimes and then if I didn't hit it, I would work in the evening. I'd turn the app back on. $17.04 for 14 miles to shop at El Super. Hell no. I don't know anything about that Mexican market, El Super, and you will never catch me in there because I would be so lost trying to find all these crazy Hispanic items that I've never seen in my life. So that is 100% no. They could have said $99 to shop at El Super, and I'd have been like, no. That would have been an L, no. Well, I'm back in my Doordash zone, and I still have not been able to get back into Doordash. I have 1 hour left until my official shift starts, but since I'm only working till 11, that's 9:15, then 10:15, so that's only an hour and 45 minutes I'll have my Doordash going, and then the shift's going to be over. So that's really only going to be probably maybe 2 deliveries that I would possibly do on Doordash. So yeah, I really kind of messed myself up by missing the opportunity to schedule a really full shift like I normally do. Like I usually schedule it from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then I have access to it at all times. And then even though the app is quiet, as long as you're on it, sometimes it'll just take one good offer to come in to blow up your earnings for the day. Like yesterday's, I got a $20 one, and that totally took me right to where I wanted to be. Otherwise, I would have just been, limping along like I am now, just hoping I make at least $30 today. UberEats, $3.69 for 8.9 miles to to pick up food at Wendy's. That's a no. Yeah, the offers are gonna be pretty bad today, it looks like. And if you guys were doing this more seriously than what I'm doing it, what you would want to do is you'd want to basically go to places that you would think would be busy. You would possibly drive people around. You go to the airport, give people airport rides. Here in Vegas, you go to the Strip and you keep circling around the Strip. and pray that somebody needs a ride. UberEats, $7.07 for 6 miles. No. Yeah, you do stuff like that. There's just a lot of different things that you could do. You can park at Walmart and turn on the Walmart Spark app and light a candle. Light a candle and pray that Walmart Spark send you something decent. But there's always just if it's slow, it's slow. And sometimes when it's that slow, you just go home and you put Netflix on and you just call it a day. You watch a good movie and just relax. And maybe when you're rested, take a nap and then go out in the evening and try it in the evening time. Maybe it'll be busier in the evening. That's just how this job is. It's a very difficult job to do if you're using it as your main source of income. You gotta really hustle. $7.07 for 3.9 miles to go to Coffee Bean. Well, I don't like the drop-off spot, so I'm gonna say no. The drop-off spot was going all the way towards Old Henderson, and so doing the math, I would be upside down in miles. It is just too slow to be going out that direction. I'm like, no thank you. I'll pass on that one. I'm willing to gamble and lose, and I'll be totally fine. That one actually met my metrics, but the drop off was 100% no, just looking at where it was going to take me. Well, all right, everybody, get ready to see me at probably about 10:45 a.m. the next time you see me, when we say goodbye. And we celebrate that we at least made the tiny amount of money that we did. Well, hopefully not. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the video will continue and we'll have some other fun adventures ahead of us for today. Okay, everybody, it is 8:28 a.m. and we've got a stacked order coming up, and they're both for Starbucks. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to show them in the graphic because I haven't gotten two double. Maybe I'll just total them together. So I'll tell them to you separately. But in the graphic, you'll see them total together. So the first one is for $5 for 2.5 miles. And the second one is for $5.50 for an additional 1.1 miles. So in the graphic, you'll see them totaled together as $10.50 as two deliveries for a total of, what is that, 3.6? Yeah, 3.6 miles. So let's head on over and pick up these two orders at Starbucks. I was kind of regretting at first not taking that earlier Coffee Bean one because I was like, wow, it's really slow. I should have taken that one. But now, of course, now I'm glad I didn't because I've got this one, which is much better. It's more money and it's less miles. But, you know, you just never know. I think at the time when I saw that previous one, it really appeared to be so far away in my mind because it was a direct straight line away from where I was at. And so in my mind, I wasn't going to get anything coming back home. So I was doubling the miles in my mind. So I thought, well, for that many miles, when you double it, it's not worth it for the money I'm going to get. Sometimes when you get these orders and the miles are significant, the way it loops, the way it has the pickup and drop off, it sometimes will turn out that it actually will lead you closer back to your hotspot. So those type of situations, then you look at the map and you're like, oh, well, that works out fine because that's going to get me, when I finish that order, I'll still be close to my hotspot. So a lot of times it depends on whether or not you want to accept an order based upon if it's busy or not. You know, if you're getting a lot of offers that day and you know you're going to be able to pick up, there's a high chance you'll be able to pick something else up during the after the drop off. So yeah, it's really one of these things where you kind of got to, wow, I've never had to park this far away from Starbucks. Oh, well, let's start walking. Man, it was crowded in there. Whew. There were like 3 other orders just sitting in there, and nobody came. I was the only delivery driver in there. It was really hopping. So I guess I don't have to worry about there being a recession or anything right now, because it was really busy.
Head to your drop off at 22.
All right, well, we're headed off to the first one. It's just 0.7 miles from here, and it's a house. Let's go. I don't think I spoke with anybody this time. I just stood there, and I think they just knew that I was a delivery driver. And they were so busy, they were just machine gunning out order after order. So I knew that mine was being worked on, because just the fact that those other bags were just sitting there, and I could see that there was one guy, he was like completely dedicated to the mobile orders. So I said, oh, they're on it. I just got to stand here and be patient and look out for the people I need to pick up for. And it worked out. The first one came out right away, and the second one, he was still preparing. He was still putting it together. But he got it. He got it going. And then I was on my way.
Just ahead, turn left on
Turn
Canyon
left here. So everything worked out, and I was very happy about this delivery. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make $10. That's about 3/4 of a way to my goal. That's 33% to my $30 goal. I am happy. See what low expectations I have, you guys, and all your giant amounts of money you want to make. Oh, I need to maybe raise my standards. It's like, come on, guy, raise your standards. You can make more money than $30 today.
Then turn right on Sky Point Ridge Drive.
You can make that big money. You can make that $100 if you worked hard enough. Oh, I hope the gate box is working. Please be working. By now, this gate has to be working. It's been broken for so long. Oh my God, is it still not working? Hi, I'm at the main gate. Oh, now they're telling me their name. All right, I'm calling them. I'm calling them. It's calling, it's ringing. All right, they opened the gate. I guess they have a new process. I guess they must have a new process that they have to do here. Maybe they changed their HOA rules and they said, stop giving out the gate code to the Uber drivers. It's a safety risk. Maybe that's what's happening. Because it used to work all the time. You'd enter the code and you just go right in. No more. Now you gotta call. Ghostbusters. All right, here we are. Let's get this dropped. Oy, oy, oy. On our way to the next one, and then I got so flustered because of the gate and thinking about all that situation with the gate. I got flustered, and when I pulled the bag out for this customer, the second customer's bag tipped over. I don't even want to look. It's like I'm not even gonna look. I don't know what let me see what they ordered. If it's an iced drink, we're fine. But if it's a hot drink, it's not gonna be so rosy. They ordered a strawberry acai lemonade Starbucks refresher beverage. Okay, good. It didn't spill. Those are sealed very tight, so we got nothing to worry about. That won't spill. It's those hot coffee drinks that'll spill on you.
Just ahead, turn right on.
If you don't make sure if they don't stay upright. But the refreshers usually are pretty forgiving. This is the kind of information that builds up in the brain when you do this job, which is so silly information.
Just ahead, turn left on.
We've got 3 minutes to go. 1.2 miles, everybody. It's a meet in the lobby. It's Sienna Pediatrics, and let's not crash into this motorcycle. Let's focus. Let's stay focused. Let's be professional, because we are professional delivery drivers. Oh, there goes the light. Come on, people. Let me go through. Stop going through the red light. It's my turn. Thank you. Whew. All right. Well, this works out good, too. This is going to take us real close to our hot spot. So this was an ideal situation. The only calamity that occurred was the Starbucks bag tipped over. So that was about it. But thank goodness it wasn't a coffee. It's just a simple iced drink. So the damage will be minimal. Thank goodness. Whew. Thank God it wasn't I think the first guy's drink was hot. So it all worked out. Starbucks orders are the one thing that you always have to worry about being tipped over. Even the McDonald's ones, you don't worry about as much. I mean, unless it's a fully loaded bag filled with drinks, then you got to be real careful. But the way most of these places set up their orders, the drinks usually stay pretty level. And anytime I get drinks that come in on like a delivery tray, I set those on the floor of the front seat, and then those stick really well to the ground. Those don't really move much at all. I used to put them in the delivery box. That was a mistake. $3.24 for 4 miles. No. Yeah, that was a big mistake. They used to spill all the time when I did that. The drinks in general, usually you should put them on the floor if they're in a tray. That's usually the most stable place I have found to put the drinks. Because, when you put things on the seat, even if they're in a box, the seats are at an incline like this for your ass. So that way your ass goes all the way back into the seat and you don't scooch forward. So, but when you put stuff on the floor, it's perfectly level on the floor. The floor for a car is perfectly flat. So that is usually the best place to stick those drinks. Well, we're here at the drop off. Let me try to find a place to park and we'll drop this off. Hi, for Miguel.
Thank you very much.
All right,
I'll
thank
give
you.
this to him.
Thank you. Get over how many offers came flooding in the moment I started to do the delivery. I must have had to stop the camera at least 2 or 3 times in order to check to see if the offers were worth taking, because it's so slow. Normally I would just ignore it. I'm in the middle of a delivery and I would totally ignore the ringing of the phone and just drop off the order. But because it's been slow today, I said, oh, I better look, see if it qualifies. And it did not. Both of all of the orders that came in while I was trying to deliver did not qualify. So we got nothing. And now we're making our way back to our spot where we know we can relax. So that was once again another standard delivery. I'm surprised we're not getting those more Starbucks ones, because those orders were just sitting there. Excuse me. But maybe somebody else is already assigned to those, or maybe they're terrible orders and I've already rejected them. That's possible. That's highly possible that I rejected those orders already. So that's why they didn't come in. It's currently 8:50 a.m. Doordash is not allowing us in yet. Not for another 25 minutes until we can get back into... Oh shoot, I didn't close out that order. There, it's closed out. I was like, how come we're not getting anything now? That happened one time. I forgot to close out an order and I was already home. I was like sitting at home going, how come I'm not getting any offers? I looked and I saw it was still not complete. And then a thing said up, are you sure you're not where the drop off is? Are you sure it's delivered? And I clicked, yes, it's delivered. That happens sometimes. Sometimes I space out. But there was no risk or danger to that occurring. $3.18 to shop and go 3.9 miles. That's a no. Well, all right, let's just see what happens next today. Today is a really weird day. Really weird. All right, it's about 9:54 a.m. and we got a Doordash offer, which is shocking. We're going to Starbucks. We're going to get $6 for 2.4 miles. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. This is like shocking because nothing has been coming in on Doordash. It has been just deader than a doornail. Nothing's been happening at all. So I'm just very excited about it. Now we may actually hit, because of this order, we may actually hit $30. I'm in shock. A comment that came in from Anadrino 4937. She writes, let's talk water. Do you have a water softener in your home? When cooking, do you use water straight from the tap or use bottled water? I'm new to the area and never had a water softener growing up. I never had a water softener growing up either. I grew up in LA and we never had a water softener. The water was always just fine. We drank from the hose, we drank from the tap. It was never a big deal. I just thought everybody had normal drinking water that you could just use until I moved here. Here the water is so hard and so full of minerals that it tastes so terrible that it is undrinkable. It is just awful water, just the worst water, and it damages the pipes of your house and ruins your appliances. So it is absolutely mandatory for the survival of your health as well as the survival of your home to have a water softener. You just absolutely have to have one. If not that, then some sort of other technology that makes the water soft. So you have to have that. And then the second thing you have to have is a clean source of drinking water, because the water here just tastes so bad. The water softener only makes the water soft. It doesn't purify it. It doesn't make the water taste good. In fact, I think it adds a lot of salt to the water. So I have a reverse osmosis system under the sink and then the water tastes just fine. It tastes better than bottled water. It tastes fantastic. So the only bad thing about that is you have to, I mean, I have to change the filters myself every year. I've got to change like the bottom filters every year, and then every other year I've got to change the expensive membrane part of the filtration, and then the bottom 3 filters as well every other year. So that's what I do for my water. The only alternatives are just to buy a ton of cases of bottled water, which a lot of people that rent apartments, that's what they do. And then also I think there's like Sparklets and Culligan that are here, and they'll bring you bottled water. And I think they'll even also install a reverse osmosis system in your kitchen sink, and they will maintain it for a monthly fee for you. So I'm thinking about doing that myself because I'm getting older. I was thinking once I officially retire, I'll start doing that, because I think it's going to be too hard on my body to be reaching down under the sink and wrenching open these containers, because it is physically, it's very hard to unscrew these filters on these systems by yourself when you are older, because you got to get on your hands and knees, and the filters have been sitting under the sink for a year. So the deposits that form and the tightness of the seals that form on these canisters is unbelievable, and they become very difficult to open. All right, well, we're here at Starbucks. Let's go get it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I just love it when the order is ready to go. There is no better feeling. All right, we got the order. I just had a little situation here where my dash cam fell off of the window. It usually does that in the summertime because the heat gets so intense. It eventually just dries out the little rubber thing that holds it in place, and it falls. But no harm. All I do is I put a little water on the little rubber thingy and pop it back on the windshield, and we're good to go again. And I really don't use that camera for any of my YouTube stuff because the quality is horrific. It looks really, really poor quality, so I don't use that at all. I save it just for emergencies, like if I get into a car accident or something like that, then I'll pull out the little memory chip to access that information. It records the inside of the car, and it also records what's going on outside of the car. But at any rate, we're on our way to the drop-off. It's going to be just 0.9 miles from here, 2 minutes, and it's going to be that pediatric place. So let's go drop it off. Oh yeah, and then you saw when I went into Starbucks, there was no waiting. The order was already there. I just walked in and grabbed it and left. And then usually if it's not too noisy, I yell thank you so they know that I'm taking the order, and they don't think I'm trying to sneak it out of the coffee shop, because I'm sure they get a lot of theft, so they're always worried that somebody's just pretending to be a delivery driver and they're just grabbing the drinks and taking off with them. So usually if it's not too noisy, I'll yell thank you, and then they'll go you're welcome or have a good day or whatever, and then they know, okay, he's not trying to be sneaky and take our Starbucks orders. All right, we're almost there. Hi for Oscar. Thank you. That was just a standard drop-off. Everything went just fine. And now I've just gotta make my way out of here. I got UberEats turned back on. I got, I guess we must be over $30 right now. So let's all do a toot. We hit our goal, $30 today. Wow. And there's less than an hour left in the shift. It's 10:07. So the odds that we're going to get something else is not looking very good. So based on how slow it's been, but you never know. Maybe a huge $50 order will suddenly come in and shock all of us, but probably not. More than likely, the most we can hope for is probably another $6 order to come in for reasonable miles. Let's see, they just paused my dash. They said, we tried to send you something, but you didn't confirm it in time. And that's because I had no phone service. But I am now in a section where I should have phone service. I was in between two giant trucks, and I had no phone service when my car was parked between those two trucks. It was blocking the signal. But now we should be clear, and we should get, and it was Staples. It says we try to send you an offer regarding a Staples shop and deliver order that I wouldn't have accepted anyway. I hate shopping at Staples. Every time you go in there, the item that they want isn't available, or it's really hard to find, and they never really pay that much. And usually the people that want something from Staples, they're on the strip, and they want me to drive all the way to the strip to bring it to them. You know, they're like at some convention or something, and they forgot like a USB cable for their laptop, or some kind of presentation cable that connects to their media device. UberEats, shop and pay, $5.40 for 8 miles. No. Yeah, it's like, no, I won't. Staples is very similar to Lowe's. I'm very hesitant to do it because my enjoyment in doing it is usually very low, and the risk of me actually becoming very irritated by doing it is very high. All right, everybody, that is the end of the day. It's currently 10:45 a.m. and there's not enough time to do another one, so it's time to start working on the video. Take a look at the numbers above and below. You can see how much money we made today. It was a terrible day with very little money. Take a look at the hours that we were online. We went online at about 5:45 a.m. and it's now 10:45, so that's quite a few hours. Look at the hours worked, and then you can look also at the miles and the miles per gallon, and then also take a look at our acceptance rate, our customer ratings, our on-timeliness, all the stats that tell you everything about what's going on so far. Also, total lifetime deliveries are also there. We're well over 3,000 deliveries on both apps. So anyway, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's busier tomorrow. So you guys all take care, and I will see you again tomorrow. And hopefully, yes, it will be a lot busier tomorrow. And if not, we'll be here again. Keep on trying. All right, see you guys. Bye.